out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back. Let's hear it. Root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. But it's one who respect around and behold, holding. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back. Let's hear it. Good for the whole team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's one who.
Hi, baseball fans. Talkin' Baseball is back for episode 5 of season 10.
On a sweltering late June day, the season is almost half done right now, believe it or not.
It's exactly half
Yes,
over. The
right.
season's half done.
Believe it or not.
And we're in a new studio today for the first time in all these years. We've moved to the art room of the Passios building.
We have, yes, you can't see beyond the borders of the screen, but it's completely new beyond the green. So,
And we got a terrific crew of Dan and John and Debbie the truck helping us out. And I'd like to introduce my friend Jason Smith, who has lived a whole life that has been trivial, full of trivia.
hey, I heard you had your picture taken with Babe Ruth.
Well, it was with a baby Ruth.
Oh, baby Ruth.
Yes. Okay.
And, I still have the hair from last time, hence the hat, because, we don't want it to look like I have no head for this show. So temporarily breaking out the old red from the 70s today.
Okay, so this is, of course, a baseball show, but something's happening in Boston this last couple weeks. The Boston Celtics have won their 18th World Championship.
Yes, it was awesome to watch.
Congratulations to them.
Congrats to everyone. It was, and I have to admit, I'm usually generally not a huge NBA fan, but this team was so exciting to watch. They were so much fun. It was just, it was a great combination of talent and energy, and tanking a few years ago to get Tatum and Brown who ended up paying dividends. There they are, right there. What a great shot!
What a great shot!
And it was so much fun to be in Boston. They were really the talk of the town during this whole playoff run.
They still are.
They still are.
They showed up at Fenway.
Yes, they did. They did.
It's just the only thing about it that made me feel bad was, if I'd been born 7'3", I could have made much more money than teaching school.
That's true. That is true. Yes.
7'3".
7'3". Yeah.
In my entire life, I've never known a person over 6'8".
I don't think so.
And this guy is 7 inches taller than that.
So, yeah, I mean, do you even have to dunk? You can just kind of reach and put it right in if you're that tall. So.
You're like a bombardier on a plane.
Yeah. Well, congrats. It was a lot of fun, and it was. It was fun because the Sox were playing well and they sort of flew under the radar because everyone was so focused on the Celtics.
That's right.
But,
won 80 games overall.
Yes.
Only Larry Bird's team won that once.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Well, something very sad happened this past few days. Mm-hmm. We lost a baseball icon. Willie Mays passed away at the age of 93.
He was the oldest living Hall of Famer. He was.
And he was an amazing ball player. But the thing about him that has always struck me, that he was a black man coming into New York in 1951, but maybe not everyone knows that he was the 17th black man to make the major leagues. The Dodgers had already had Newcomb, Joe Black, and Roy Campanella, and Monty Irvin joined the Giants before he did.
Right.
And there was something about the way that he played. They called him the Say Hey Kid. He played with such enthusiasm and joy for the game. You couldn't hate a guy like that.
He was, many people who watched him consider him the best five-tool player of all time. He could do everything. In fact, no less a person than Ty Cobb said Willie Mays was the one person he'd pay to watch play baseball.
He played in a Negro league while he was still in high school.
Is that crazy? Yeah, in fact, his first Negro League team was in 1948, and his first team was actually called the Chattanooga Choo-Choos, if you can believe it. That's what he was very briefly with them, and then he played with the Birmingham Black Barons in 1948, famous Negro League team, and he finally retired in 1973 with the Mets. He had a 25-year professional baseball career.
Last 2 years. He should have retired before that.
Yes.
But he did hang on for 2 more years. And
the Mets won a series.
that's right.
So maybe there was something to his leadership. Who knows?
He was the MVP in 54 and 55. He made 24 All-Star games, Hall of Fame 1979. And he's most well known for something that we will show you in a second. The Giants used to play in a park called the Polo Grounds. The Polo Grounds was shaped like a bathtub.
It was like a diamond.
The
almost,
left
yeah.
field and right field lines were 260 feet. Center field was 480 feet. Now think about this. We're going to show you the catch that he made. But when Bobby Thompson in 1951 hit the home run to win the National League pennant, the Giants win the pennant.
The Giants win the pennant.
That ball went 265 feet. 265. The ball that Mays caught off Vic Wertz in 54 went 460 feet.
Right.
200 feet further. So what do you think Vic Wertz says?
Hey,
I hit
come
the ball
on.
200 feet further than Thompson.
And
He's a hero, and I made it
I
out.
got nothing.
So take a look at this. This is the famous catch. This is awesome.
There's a long drive, way back in center field, way back, it is. Willie Mays just brought this crowd to its feet with a catch, which must have been an optical illusion to a lot of people. And Willie Mays gave this crowd of 52,751 an unforgettable sight. Wirtz pounds the next pitch over Willie Mays' head, but there goes Willie. And he makes a miraculous catch as he stops a step short of the wall.
And there it is, folks.
And Mays always said the best thing about it was the fact that he was able to throw the ball back in and hold the runner at
Right,
second
yes,
base.
yep. It wasn't the catch. It was that he was able to pivot and turn and make such a great throw. He was awarded the Medal of Freedom in 2015 by President Obama. So it's not just a baseball icon. He's a worldwide icon.
That's right.
Now, this is how times have changed. When he signed his first contract with the Giants as a rookie, how much do you think he signed for?
Not much.
$4,000 was his rookie contract.
Well, I looked it up. He made $2 million in his career.
Yes,
$2
right.
million in his career.
Right.
I think Sale is making $23 million this year.
Right, $2 million per start, probably the way he's going.
So for a 25-year phenomenal, maybe the 2 or 3 best, the only people whose cards sell for more are Babe Ruth and Mickey Mantle.
Right.
Don't buy Mays cards.
No. Yeah. In fact, in 1959, he was the highest paid player in baseball, and he made $75,000.
right.
Amazing, isn't it? And speaking of Mantle, actually, little side note here, Mays is connected to Mantle because Mays hit a fly ball that Mantle was chasing, and Mantle's ankle got stuck in an open drain.
That's right.
And it wrecked his ankle and his knee, and that's when his career started to turn down a little bit.
He was never the same after
Right,
that.
exactly. Yep.
Imagine that there was a drain. I can remember the picture.
Yeah.
DiMaggio and he were going after a ball,
Right.
and he stepped in a drain, and he was never, he still was tremendously fast.
But he wasn't the same as he
never
was.
recovered from that injury.
Yep, 1951 World Series.
That's right.
We need to stop doing these obituaries for this show. They've been way too many
This is more than
lately.
an obituary. This is a peon to one of the great human beings.
Exactly.
Not just ball players, human beings of our
100%.
time.
100%. And like I said, so many people consider him the best player of all time when you talk all 5 tools combined. So, in fact, do you know who the oldest Hall of Famer is now?
No, I don't.
It's Louis Aparicio.
Really?
He's 92.
Good for him.
Yes, he's the next one. So,
Okay,
moving on.
we've had another exciting time with the truck, so we'll take a moment out, and here's the truck.
Hello, baseball fans. Welcome back. The truck is back to give you another baseball rule. So here it is. The batter hits the ball. He runs down to first baseman. The batter runs. He hits the bag just as the first baseman gets the ball. He steps on the bag, and the first baseman gets the ball. It's a tie. It goes to New York, and it comes back, and it's a tie. What happens? Is he safe or is he out? Well, you've always heard that the tie goes to the runner. So you're going to say he's safe, right? Guess what? That's folklore. He's not safe or out until the umpire decides. It's the umpire's discretion whether he's safe or out. So poof, there goes another baseball myth. And you heard it here from the truck. So now we're going to move on to our special event for the boys. We're going to have some pictures from the 50s and the 80s. And guess what? These guys are both in the Red Sox Baseball Hall of Fame. They're infielders, and here they are. And if you can get these at home, good for you. Play along with us and keep on trucking.
Okay,
and
now
we're
the
back.
truck has presented some questions, some pictures. Pictures.
Five
For us-
questions.
for us
Three
to-
questions,
for us
sir.
to-
Five questions.
Monty Python reference.
Yes.
So here they are. Okay,
That one's for you from
that's
the
a
50s.
50s infielder.
All right. That's for you. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's an 80s infielder.
It's an 80s infielder.
Yes.
And we'll have the answers for those, and you people have plenty of time at home to look through your phones and find the answers.
Yes, we do. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. The next section we've always called tidbits.
Right.
But I thought maybe this time we'd call it tainted tidbits.
Yes.
Because all 6 of these tidbits are somewhat, I won't say negative, but somewhat
Dubious.
Dubious,
would
that's
be
the
right
word.
to use.
The first one is, earlier this month, the Sox broke a 14-game losing streak by
The White
Sox.
So if you haven't been following, the White Sox are just world-class bad this year. And they were on a 14-game losing streak and played the Red Sox, and they beat the Red Sox to end their 14-game losing streak. We don't want to talk about it. And actually, you know what? They've played great since then. That was sort of their bottoming out. Maybe that's what woke them up a little bit. I don't know.
It's sort of like the old Red Sox, you know. They do pretty well against the good teams and get blown away.
Oh,
by
100%. Oh,
they
even
could never
recent-
beat the St. Louis Browns or the Washington Senators.
Right,
Never.
especially on the road.
Jesus.
That's right. Well, even before, remember the good teams they had in 03, 04, and 05? They couldn't beat the damn Orioles.
That's right. That's right. And here's the second one. And this just was on a couple days ago. The Sox have struck out 12 times or more 20 times this season.
Yeah,
12 times.
That's aggravating.
You don't strike out 12 times. Shouldn't ever.
Right. That's aggravating to me, and I think that's a big flaw they need to work on, because when you have Duran and Rafaela and all these speedy guys, just make contact, or Hamilton. Just make contact when they're on base instead of striking out, and you're going to score runs.
Well,
it's just so aggravating.
Majority of the strikeouts aren't from those 3 guys.
Oh, I know.
We
but I'm
won't
saying,
deal with personnel.
Yeah, just in general. But yeah,
How do you work on strikeouts?
no idea.
How do you work on a strikeout?
Don't
And
swing.
it's not against Randy Johnson and Nolan
No,
Ryan.
no, these are against a
Just
lot of
anybody,
average
anybody.
Joes. They've been striking out a ton.
Okay. Third is sad. Mookie Betts, who, despite the fact he's with the Dodgers, I still think is a terrific ball player and guy, broke his hand and will be out for 2 months.
He got hit by a pitch.
Hit
And
by
he-
a pitch.
Yep. Just like Trevor Story a couple of years ago.
Just like Jim Rice did before the
Right,
World Series.
and there's
right?
nothing you can do about that, folks. It's just part of the game. But he was leading in just about every National League category at the time when he got hit. So that's kind of sad, but injuries are part of the game.
Another oddity. The Sox lead the majors in solo homers.
Right? I think does O'Neill have any homers that aren't solo? I think one. I think his latest one.
Last time I looked, he had 15 homers and 27 runs batted in,
Right.
which means he knocked himself in more than other people.
He did, right? That's Dave Kingman-esque right there. Remember that?
That's too funny.
Or remember Rob Deere used to do that all the time too? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to complain about the power, but do it with some people on base, please.
And this next guy we seem to be talking about pretty much every show, Dahlback is back at Worcester.
Yes, he is.
The 4th time he's gone back.
Yes. Yeah, there he is right there. And actually,
Look at the look on his face.
again.
He got bus fare.
And this is the last year where he has options.
right.
So this is the Bobby Dahlbeck trolley car will be ending this year. They have to either keep him or cut bait because he's out of options after this
He
year.
sort of reminds me of Crash Davis.
Right.
He's had 13 days in the show.
Right, exactly. 13 days. And he hit about as well, too.
And this other thing is the problem that is ongoing and might be at its peak right now, the situation with Bayo. 2 or 3 games ago, he had an absolute tantrum, threw his glove around on the field, went and kicked stuff in the dugout, and then his last outing just a few days ago, he blew up, gave up 7 runs, I think.
7 runs of it. Couldn't even get out of the inning.
They need psychological work on him.
I agree.
I
agree.
heard today they're skipping his next turn.
They are, right.
And but he needs to get his head together.
Yep, and I always try to stay positive here, but I this is just me. I would have demoted the guy after that temper tantrum. I'm sorry. That has no place on a professional baseball field. And you have 39 other guys on the roster who are doing their damnedest to make the playoffs, and you're single-handedly short-circuiting a loss because you can't get your temper together.
Well, you're talking 50s, 60s baseball, Dave.
Yeah, I
It's
suppose.
like you don't
I
kick a kid
suppose.
out of school anymore.
I suppose. But he's currently, there are 86 qualified starting pitchers for the ERA title. He's 84th, which is not good, folks. That's not good at all.
But they need him.
They do need him. Of
So,
course they need him.
let's
Of course
hope
need
that
him.
they can get,
Hope he can get it together.
get into his
Hopefully
head.
by the time this airs, he's gotten it back together, right?
All right. Something happened, though, that's never happened before. I love it in this show when we can, after all these years, we can talk about something that's never happened.
Things that have never happened
ever
before.
happened before.
This is great.
The Red Sox stole 9 bases in one game, and to really put the icing on the cake, it was against the Yankees.
Against the Yankees on a Sunday night baseball when everyone was watching too. It was fantastic to watch.
Unbelievable.
Did you ever think you'd be talking about a Red Sox team with 9 steals in a game? They used to go a month without 9
I got
steals
some
in one game.
a few stats I got to give you
Oh,
on
I'm
this.
sure.
Listen to some of these.
Yeah.
What year was it? In 1964, the team had a total of 18 steals. Yaz had 6, and Dalton Jones had 6. So they stole half as many in one game
In one
as
game.
the team did in
The
1964.
entire season. That's right.
Incredible.
That's all.
It also tied the record for the most steals against the Yankees.
Right.
And Hamilton had 4 steals in a game, which tied the Red Sox record set by Ellsbury and Jerry Remy.
I'm gonna quote Jeff Spicoli here. All right, Hamilton. All right, so we have a video of those steals right here. So
here's a video.
enjoy.
All 9 coming up here.
Field defensively with Verdugo out it in right. Duran off. Trevino couldn't get a good grip, and that's a stolen base for Jarren Duran, his 16th. 1-2, runner does go. They will not throw down. And now it's second and third for the rookie.
They feel he's going.
8 stolen bases he is. Check swing. Trevino's throw down. Gets into center field. And the running Red Sox have caused some problems for the Yankees early here.
Yankees fans are all over the field.
Hamilton goes. Trevino again had trouble on the transfer. And right now the Red Sox are running wild against the Yankees. He goes right away. Trevino will throw down, and it's not close. Hamilton, a speedster, his second steal of the night. Stroman pitch number 88, going to third base. Steals without a throw.
This is Alex Cora baseball.
And he goes. Swing and a miss. Trevino will not throw down. 7th steal of the game for the Red Sox. Scored 2 runs, got a single. Right away, runner goes. Trevino will throw. They will cut that off. That Little League play with Volpe coming in, anticipating Rafaela going from third. He doesn't. And the Red Sox have tied a franchise record with 8 stolen bases tonight.
Kind of running the clubhouse or being part of the leadership.
Runner goes. This would be a franchise record, and it is the 9th stolen base tonight by the Red Sox. Hamilton picks another, his 3rd. 9 stolen bases in a game.
All right, now how fun was that to watch?
How sweet was
All
that?
right, Hamilton. All right.
Duran, also, to add to that, twice now Duran has stolen home.
I love it.
And only the last 2 to do that, Evans in 74 and Fred Lynn in 75.
God, Dewey did it, huh?
Dewey.
Wow.
Sometimes the steals of home are complicated by
Oh, somebody in a pickle somewhere
That's
or
right.
some pickoff attempt. Oh, and there he is. Oh, there he is. David Hamilton. All right, folks. Oh, man.
it's so great to watch these 3 Red Sox, Rafaela and Hamilton
and Duran.
run.
Oh, it's so awesome.
It's just like it's It's not the Red Sox.
It's not.
It's like watching a soccer game
It really
or a track meet.
Yeah, and they have some other guys who have some decent speed too, but those three in particular are just get on base. Like I said, just make contact and they're going to score.
And especially now that you can only throw over twice.
Right.
I remember going to a game once when Henderson was playing against us, and they threw over 6 or 7 consecutive times, and then he stole.
And then he stole anyway, right?
But once you get, if you throw over twice, free game.
Yep.
If he can pick you off, he can pick you off, but otherwise,
No, it's all yours.
and then all the time you get to time his movement. And the Yankees catcher wasn't much to speak of anyway.
No, Trevino was a little shell-shocked.
And 3 times you just said, let him go.
Yeah, who cares?
If they had a first and third, if he throws down, the guy's going to come from
Right,
third.
and that's such a weapon to stay out of a double play,
That's right.
and you throw the pitcher's timing off, and the catcher gets frustrated. Bring back more speed. I think that's. One of the great things about the rule change is it brings back
Now
speed.
the next thing they should learn is how to bunt and use that speed.
Oh, 100%, 100%.
If those guys, 3 guys, especially lefty bunts,
Right.
drag bunt down the line,
you can't throw them out.
you never throw them out.
No, that's a lost art, bunting. Too bad.
Well, anyway, that was never happened before in 125 years of Red Sox.
You never
9
know what you're gonna
steals,
see.
One night, and it was on national TV, and it was against New York.
Yes. So bask in that glory for a little while here.
So it's time now for Fenway Memories.
So this kind of ties in a little bit to Willie Mays, my memory here. So if you ask around, definitely competing for the best player of all time is Willie Mays' godson, Barry Bonds. Now, steroids or not, whatever you think about steroids, you don't care, you think they should have been, whatever. Barry Bonds is probably the greatest hitter of all time. So I actually got to see Barry Bonds' only Fenway homer. I was
Really?
at that game. Yes, I had.
I didn't know that. Good for you.
June 17th, 2007. I had just gotten married to my lovely wife. We had come back from our honeymoon a couple weeks ago. And he hit a homer in Fenway off of, can you guess who he hit it off of?
2007.
2007. Who gave up the
Was it the guy we always said, was it, I don't know.
Nope, it was Tim Wakefield he hit it off of. Yep. It was the Red Sox won 9-5.
I don't like to hear about home runs off Tim Wakefield.
I know, yeah.
There was a very bad one in
Yeah, I know.
2003.
This one was slightly less traumatizing. The Red Sox won the game 9-5, and actually it was his homer that knocked Wakefield out of the game, but Wakefield still got the win. And also a little tidbit, who do you think was leading off for the Giants that game? And I couldn't even remember that he was with the Giants.
2007.
2007, leading off. Dave Roberts was leading off for the Giants in 2007. Can you believe that? I didn't even know he was with the team until I checked the lineups for that day. But that's my Fenway memory. I was, like you said, you never know what you're going to see
By
at
the
the
way,
park.
for you young people out there, he's the one that stole against Rivera in 2004.
Yes, if you 20 years ago, if you weren't around
just to
then.
let you know.
So, but it's, I was not around for Willie Mays, obviously. It was before my time, but probably the greatest player of my era was Barry Bonds, and I got to see his only Fenway homer. So how cool is that?
Where was it? Do you remember?
Dead center.
Dead
He
center.
hit it dead center. Yep, it was over the center field wall. Yep.
Well, my Fenway memory goes back to my very first game. It was August 23rd, 1950. That's a long time ago. The Red Sox used to park their cars beside the ballpark in an open area. And after the game, you could go over and hang out around the cars. And when the players came out, oftentimes they come over and sign a signature for you.
Yeah.
It was much less. First of all, in 1950, they had slightly over 1 million attendance.
Right.
Average attendance was 16,000.
Right.
It was average.
Yeah.
And then it went down the rest of the 50s. So there weren't mobs of people
Right,
around.
right.
So after the game was over, my dad took me around to wait for a ball player to come out. And the ball player I really wanted to see was a rookie named Walt Dropo.
Yes.
Walt Dropo.
Yeah. Oh, there he is. There he is.
He had an amazing rookie year.
He sure did.
Knocked in 144 runs in his rookie year. And I was just getting into baseball. He was left-handed. I was left-handed. I played first base, not very well. He played first base, and so he was my idol, the Moose from Moosup,
Yes.
Connecticut.
Yeah.
So My dad saw him coming out, said, Walt, would you sign a thing for my son? It's his first game. And he came over and signed an attendance slip from my father's classroom.
Oh, there it is.
That's it.
That's so
that
cool.
was signed on August 23rd,
That's so cool.
1950.
And of course, Dropo probably was a giant compared to you at that
Oh.
age, because he was a massive dude anyway.
Really
Yeah.
tall.
Yeah.
And the thing that was funny was, I think there's another picture here. Many, many years later, I went to a show, a card show, up in Bishop Girton, New Hampshire. And he was there signing autographs that they always had players come in as ways to get people to come to the show.
Sure.
So I went over to him and I said, I appreciate having a picture taken with you because you signed an autograph for me about 35 years ago. And he looked at me and he says, don't say that.
Oh man! And that was really his career year too, wasn't it? His rookie year. Yeah, he was never the same after that year.
They kept him 2 more years. They traded him to the Tigers.
Tigers, yes.
And he did not have a long career.
Right.
But he does have something that is extraordinary. This is something I learned through the grapevine. He's the only man in history to hit a ball over the Green Monster and a ball over the Great Wall of China.
How did he do that?
After he retired from baseball, he became a fireworks dealer.
Really?
And he imported fireworks from China.
Really?
And one day he was over there. He said, I want to hit a golf ball over the Great Wall. So he teed it up and he hit a ball over the Great Wall of
That's
China.
a great story.
A whole hemisphere apart.
That is so cool.
How's that for a credit?
That
boy?
is so cool. That's because I remember. Oh, there it is, right there. There's the picture.
There he is. There he is.
Good thing he's sitting down because he'd be a
I
little
love
taller
that
than
picture
you.
because I look bigger than him.
Yeah, right. That is great. Look
That's
at
Walt
that.
Dropo.
Yeah.
The other thing I always noticed about that is his great handwriting.
Yes. Oh, yeah. We talked about that before.
Ask for an
right?
autograph today, you won't get it.
Yeah.
You won't read it.
Yeah. That is. And it's funny about how certain players are so amenable to fans years later and some aren't.
Right,
You
that's
never
right,
know what
that's
you're
right.
going to get with
Man.
players like that.
Jose Canseco was unbelievable.
Oh, really?
I mean, he was getting paid like $50 or $60 per autograph.
Right, yeah.
He wouldn't even look at you.
Really?
Yaz wouldn't look at me.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
He wouldn't even look up.
Yep, yeah, it's just sign it and move on.
Go smoke, you know.
Right. And then, of course, we showed my picture with Wade Boggs, who was totally cool, put his arm
right,
out
that's
and
right,
waved.
that's
and
right.
so,
So anyway, I told you that Walt Dropo was the Rookie of the Year in 1950.
Okay.
It's time for Stump Jason.
Oh, boy, here we go.
Stump Jason.
Okay.
And there's many parts to this, and please, folks, play at home.
Yes, please play at home.
We've been
yes.
watching a great British show called Pointless. And the fun of watching the show, sort of like Jeopardy,
Yeah.
except easier questions, is to see if you at home can play along and answer the question.
Right.
So Jason's question is this. Since Walt Dropo,
Mm-hmm.
the Red Sox have had 5 players become Rookies of the Year.
Okay.
Name as many of those as you can.
Okay.
End of the show.
All right.
Okay?
Will do.
There's been
Will
only
do.
5. Covered quite
I think I know them.
I'm sure you do.
I think I know
But
them.
folks at home, see if you can pull up these, okay?
Yes.
Okay, the next thing we have is we did the all-time save leaders
Right.
last show. This show, we're going to do the all-time relief strikeout leaders.
Right.
Who's had the most strikeouts?
And this is something that is a little odd because in the last say 20 years is really when they've started focusing on like K9 as a big way of how dominant relievers are and things like that. Before that, if you were a reliever, it didn't matter if you had a strikeout pitch as long as you got guys out. I mean, like the all-time example of that was Dan Quisenberry. Remember, he'd have the sidearm, and he was just grounder after grounder after grounder after grounder, and he never struck anybody out, but he was a fantastic closer.
Well, the thing about this that's interesting is the top 8 strikeout leaders do not include Rivera or Hoffman.
Right, exactly. Right.
They had
yeah,
the most
right,
saves
right.
by a mile,
Right.
but they're not in the top 8 list.
Because they were soft contact guys. So Rivera struck out some, but you'd always break your bat and you'd ground out to second base. And Hoffman had the changeup, and you just did the little weak roller to the infield.
Soft contact actually is better. You throw fewer pitches.
It's more efficient, absolutely.
It's actually more
100%,
efficient.
yeah, absolutely.
So just for the fun of it, here's the list. And it is still very active and very competitive.
Yeah, of course it
That's
is.
what's
Yes,
cool about it.
yes.
Number one, who was also a starting pitcher,
Right.
was Hoyt Wilhelm.
Yes, a knuckleballer. Yes.
The
What?
ultimate knuckleballer.
Yes.
He was about 5'7", and his head was bent to one side. Little guy.
But he's pitched forever, and when he was starting, he pitched every fourth day. That's
right.
They go in three, but he was a reliever for a lot of his career too. He was a closer, actually.
Yep. 1,363 strikeouts for reliever.
That's a lot.
That's the record.
That is a lot.
That's
of
the record.
strikeouts.
And close behind him, and it's not a name that's fond to us,
Yeah.
Goose Gossage.
The
of Yankees.
Goose. Yes.
1,340.
Another guy who hung on for a long, long
That's right.
time.
That's right.
I never realized how long he pitched in his mid-40s. He was around a long time. That guy, the Goose.
He was the one that got the save in the famous
He
game.
sure did, and he had the coolest handlebar mustache too.
Yep.
He'd stare at you and have the jowls going. But he was a guy like Wilhelm. He wasn't a one-inning guy. You
no.
bring him in for 2, 3, maybe even 4
Yeah,
innings, depending on the game.
He was a Dick Raditz type
Yes,
guy.
exactly. Yeah.
Third, as he is third in saves, Lee Smith.
Lee Smith. They were the slowest strikeouts in Major League history.
1,225.
Yeah.
So he's the third most saves and the third most strikeouts.
Yes,
That's consistent.
and the most time taken to achieve those 1,200 strikeouts because he did take 45 seconds between every pitch.
He would have so many violations now.
Oh, no, he couldn't pitch now.
I think
He
he's the
couldn't do it.
primary reason they changed the rule.
Probably is. I remember one time, it was a Joe Morgan year, and he brought in Smith in the 7th inning to save the game for 3 innings. And I remember all of us saying, "Oh God, we're going to be here for 2 hours if he's going to pitch 3 innings today." Oh my Lord! Absolutely, the slowest dude ever. He'd sort of saunter in. He wouldn't even go out to the bullpen till the 5th inning. Remember, he would just sort of wander out there, and then he'd take his time coming in and fart around and throw over and take forever. Oh my
The
God.
story is often he ordered pizzas delivered to him in the bullpen.
Oh, I can believe it. Yeah, he was not a paragon of fitness, was he?
No, but he was good.
But he was good.
We make fun of him all the time.
But he was damn good. And I think what held him back is that he bounced, or what was he with, 12 teams,
lot of
I think?
teams, right.
He never had a team that he really settled with, and I think that hurt his Hall of
Yeah.
Fame candidacy because they tend to ignore guys who bounce around
Yeah,
for
well, I
some
think
reason.
too many guys get sick of having to eat steak at midnight.
The spread had gone rotten by the time the game finished, so they had to trade him. So.
But here's where it gets interesting.
Yeah.
Number 4 is Craig Kimbrell.
Yeah, I can
Now,
believe it.
I've got stats up to yesterday's date. By the time you watch this is all probably have changed. He has 1,231. Fifth is Billy Wagner with 1,196. Next, Aroldis Chapman,
Wow.
1,193.
Really?
Seventh is Kenley Jansen,
Yep.
1,191. There's 3 guys within 5.
That are active, so they're all going to kind of do this. So
So-
by the time this airs, it may have changed.
I'm sure they'll both pass Wagner.
Oh, yeah.
But
And by the way,
can Chapman last longer than Jansen? That's what it comes
that's
down
pretty much. And as you know, we have been stumping for years that Billy Wagner should be a Hall of Famer. I mean, again, 5th all time in strikeouts, and I think he's the leader in K9 too. In the strikeout rate, I think he's the
to.
highest.
It's only 14.
It's over 14.
Yeah.
I think Chapman was ahead for a little while, and he's tailed off
Yeah,
lately.
he has.
Yeah.
And the last one that I kept down was Raleigh Fingers.
Raleigh!
And they just passed him at 1,183.
Man, there's some great facial hair in this list, huh? With Gossage and Kimbrell and Fingers.
Well, that's part of the intimidation.
Of course it is.
That's
Of
it.
course it is.
Who was the St. Louis guy?
Oh, Al Hrabosky. Al Hrabosky
the
had
mad
huge...
Russian. The mad Russian. And he would come in and face the outfield.
Yeah.
And he'd pick up the rosin bag. And he'd look at it and he'd fire it down to the ground and then march up to the mound and stand there looking at it with that mustache staring at you like he was going to shoot you.
Right.
He was terrified.
And he would look around like this, too, if there were guys on base, like he was sort of twitching, like he was a little, doing this. Oh, God. Yeah. Oh, he was terrifying.
scary.
But you're right. It's a lot of these guys, they talk about the closer mentality. Yeah, they have great stuff, but a lot of it is just attitude.
Sure.
You have a certain attitude.
And you have to have a psyche to take that pressure.
Absolutely.
So many
Absolutely.
guys have folded under that.
Right. And you have to have the psyche that if you have a bad game, you can't let it get to you.
Nope.
You just bounce back the next day
Yep.
and you get them next time.
And some of them have rubber arms. They can go every other game or
Right,
so.
right.
Some of them need the time off.
Right.
If they don't get it, they don't get it. But
Right.
the only other reliever that I remember that was more terrifying was Ryan Duran.
Ryan Duran.
Ryan Duran of the Yankees had Coke bottles for glasses. And his first warm-up pitch would always be into the stands, just like Bull Durham.
Yeah, right.
And the batters would go, yay!
And he threw 100.
And he threw 100.
And he was drunk half the time, too. So he was drunk and blind and threw 100. And the batter's going, oh, my God.
He was scary. And he struck out a lot of guys.
He sure did. Yeah, right. I think he was a guy who kind of blew his arm out. For a few years, he was just terrifying.
Now pitching Ryan Duran.
Ryan Duran, oh,
Please,
God.
no.
Yeah, hit the bull, right? So, yeah, I think these closer things are really interesting because, like we said with the Hall of Fame votes, they kind of get short thrift when it comes to Hall of Fame voting because a lot of people say, oh, they didn't pitch enough innings. But guess what? Closers have been around for, like the DH, the closer has sort of been a bullpen, quote, position for about 50 years now.
Right.
I mean, it's not official closer is your, but that's your role on the team. And you have to start acknowledging some of these guys who got the job
There was
done
no
for a
such
long
thing
time.
until Joe Page in 48.
Right.
There was no such thing as a relief pitcher.
Right.
The starters would come back in.
Oh, sure they would. Oh, yeah.
And they would not carry 15 pitchers either.
Right. Oh, yeah. Well, you finished your game that you started. No, I was just watching A League of Their Own with the missus a few days ago, and there's the joke that Lori Petty's struggling at the end of the game, and Hanks takes her out, and she's furious that he took her out. And Rosie O'Donnell walks by and says, "What's the matter, kid? Can't finish your own games?" But that's the way it was then. You finished your own game, and even in the '80s, I remember Bruce Hurst saying, "Yeah, you went 9. That's what you did."
Well, you know what's made the difference?
Money.
If you're paying somebody $90 million, you're not going to risk hurting him.
Absolutely.
made
You hit 100 pitches and
made
you
the
are
whole
done.
difference.
You are done.
Here's an oddity. I love little oddities.
We love these.
The home run leader in the American League, career for a season.
For a season.
Let me get this straight. Take two. The home run leader has only been held by 5 teams. It was started out by some character I can't remember, by the Athletics in 1902.
Right.
Then Babe Ruth took it over for the Red Sox
Right.
in 1919. And then from 1921 until 2024, it's just been 3 Yankees.
Right.
Ruth, Maris, and Judge.
And Judge. Yes.
The Yankee.
So
there
the
it is. There's the trip dish right there.
So for 105 years,
A
there were-
Yankee
it's
has held the record.
3 teams ever, but the last 3 were all Yankees.
And the thing that's interesting right now is Judge has 30 homers. There's a lot of talk he's got a chance to break his record.
He does.
But
He
that
does.
won't change the fact that
Then it's still a Yankee.
Still a Yankee
Judge is
going
having
down.
a phenomenal year, by the way. If anybody has not been watching the Yankees, he has another MVP year lined up. I'm sorry to say.
he did have he had a lousy April.
But-
At least as we're talking now, the Yankees having some problems.
Oh, they are. Oh, yes, they are.
Their
Oh, yes,
vaunted
they are.
pitching staff will get creamed by the Mets. But
And,
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. They have a pretty big lead, but
Hope springs eternal.
oh yes,
in the
we
human
could always
breast.
hope that the Yankees fold and crash.
So it's time for the photos from the truck. See how well we can do with these.
All right, here we go.
That, folks, was a member of the first team I saw play on August 23rd, 1950. That's Billy Goodman.
Billy Goodman, yes.
Billy, I even know his middle name.
Yes.
William Dale Goodman.
Really?
Yeah. And it says there second base. He also played third base and won the batting title.
That's right.
In 1950.
Right.
He had
That's right.
354.
Right. Yep. The Sox had a bunch of batting champs in that era, didn't they?
Pete Runnels.
Yeah,
as well.
I was going to say Pete Runnels was one of them, right?
Billy Goodman. There's a very funny little story about that. I think I mentioned before about my mother cheering for the guy that hit the ball at the back of the bat.
Right.
Well, we took my aunt to her first game. It's the same thing, and the Yankees were playing Yankees. And there was a guy sitting right behind us chewing a cigar, cheering for the Yankees. The Red Sox came up and a chance to tie the game, and Billy Goodman came up, and my aunt, who was a very polite, kind of timid little lady, stood at the top up on her chair and said, "Come on, Billy." Cracked me up.
Come on,
Billy Goodman. So here's Jake's question.
So here's mine right here. So this guy, I know this guy. He was a second baseman I believe he was number 17 as a member of the 86 Red Sox, Marty Barrett. And he is one of the, I think, all-time underrated Sox players. He was the number 2 hitter behind Boggs all those years.
That's right.
And he was the reason, part of the reason Boggs scored a lot. He was the quintessential number 2 hitter. Would always move guys over.
Right.
He could bunt. He had some decent, well, for then, he had some decent speed, and he was steady in the field. He was a big piece of those 80s teams. And I think he went to the Padres to end his career, maybe. I could be wrong on that. I think he did go somewhere. But that's Marty Barrett, and he was the last out of the 86 World Series. Orozco struck him out to end the series, if you remember that.
I do.
But he was just a steady 280, 290 guy, and a tough out, too. Hardly ever struck out. However, I do remember he always led the league in flies to right field, if you remember.
We had a standing joke.
Yes.
Hi, I fly to right.
Hi, I fly to right field.
And so what we used to do when we were scoring the game is he would fly out and we'd write hi.
Hi.
Next time up, hi. The next time, fly.
Fly, yes.
The next time, out.
Yeah, I think he did get high, I fly out once. I think he got 4 flies.
Well,
He went the other way all the time. So if he just popped to right all the time.
Hi, I fly to right.
Hi, I fly to right. But Marty Barrett, yeah, good, very, very overlooked player in that era. Yes.
This is a cute little story about that.
Yeah.
One of my good friend's sons worked for him out in I think it's Park Valley. And he had a place out there. And his friend, my friend's son, told him about me. Yeah. And so he sent me a ball and said, "Good luck, Pete. Marty Barrett."
Oh, cool.
That's in my collection. So I have a signed Marty,
so cool.
and you can read it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, right. And, he also was the MVP of the championship series against the Angels.
That's right.
He hit
That's
about
right.
450 that series. And I think he hit about 400 in the World Series, too. He was just a
We were
tough,
at
tough
that
out.
game, and I could still see him being taken down the left field line. To be
Right,
interviewed
yes,
by
yeah.
national
And they had the
TV.
little plaque for him and everything
That's
like
right.
that. I remember
That's
that. That's
right.
it, right.
Two good ball players.
Yes, sure, they sure were. Yeah.
Good. It's time to a visit from Sully, who is
yes.
back to see us again.
Yeah.
So here's a Sully visit.
Slowly busy.
Hi, folks, and guess what?
I'm back.
Sully from Revere is dropped in again to Talkin' Baseball to give us some wisdom question.
My pleasure, Pete. My pleasure.
know,
Glad to be back. Glad
well-
to be back. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Bump it up, baby.
Bump it up,
Bump it up, baby.
Good man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good. Hey,
You
good
know,
to see you all out
We've
there.
had so many questions come in about you.
Oh, good.
And the first question is, Sully is Sullivan, right?
Yes. Yeah.
What's your first name?
No. That's strictly for the Chelsea District Court to know. Nobody else knows that. Even in my high school yearbook, I'm credited as Sully. So kind of depends on what lady you might ask too. Check the Chelsea District Court files for that. Pat, I can't say past that. Yeah.
Since you're so interested in baseball, did you ever play ball yourself?
I did. I was a right fielder because I stunk. They put me way out there. In fact, I was facing the wrong field half the time. Sully, you're over here. Oh yeah, okay, I'm at this field, not that one. Okay, but I started getting distracted by the ladies, and that was the problem I had, and I couldn't get over that. And I had one blow over my head, and that was it. I was benched, and that was my short career right there. Yeah.
Well, at least you kept up your interest in the sport.
Yeah. I'll watch. Just don't put me out in the field. I don't move too well now. The knee injury.
How'd that happen?
Chelsea District Court. You don't want to. Just check with them again.
You still working for Dunks?
I do. And let me tell you, it is awesome. People come in and they give me an order and they don't care if I screw it up. I just give it to them and they go. It's awesome. We don't put up with that froofy stuff at Revere. I told you, it's coffee, iced, or regular. And you take it and you go. You're done.
What's the best season? What season do you get the most?
Oh, summer's the best season. Summer because we get all the ice. Ice is easier because you just pour the ice in. It's less coffee. It's more profit. It's good. Summer's the best season at Dunks. Yeah.
Well, a couple baseball questions.
All right. Bring them on.
I heard on the Sox station the other day that Uke doesn't think that mound visits are necessary. They're trying to shorten the game, but they allow 4 mound visits, which is when the pitching coach comes out and he says you need candlesticks for the anniversary?
I was just gonna say, I think that's just a big waste of time. Half the time it's Bull Durham.
That's right.
We're talking serious stuff out here. He's got his eyelid stuck in. You know what? Half the time they're saying, check out the one in the second row in the red tank top. You know what I'm saying? I think that's why they're talking.
That's true.
I think that's what the real reason for the conference is.
I've read Ball 4 by Jim Bouton.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah,
exactly
yeah,
what he
yeah.
talks
I
about.
read that too back. Well, the comprehension's not so good now, but I did read it back in the day.
Oh, just one last question. I'm really sick of singing Sweet Caroline, which was written by a New Yorker about a Democrat. So give me an idea for a replacement for the middle of the 8th inning for the song Sweet Caroline.
Oh, you know what, Mike? You gotta go with my favorite. Something by AC/DC, baby. You go like this, everybody gets the horns going. You sing along like, Back in Black or something like that. That gets the crowd going. I don't want to hear Sweet Caroline. I want to hear Back in Black. That's much more like it. That's gonna get the people into it. I'm telling you.
That's right. It probably would.
AC/DC, baby.
I have to bring it up to the crew now.
And I'll even dance around like Angus in his shorts if they play it on. Let me tell you that. I'll be up and down the stairs in my shorts.
They'll sell out that
Oh,
show.
hey, I'll sell out a whole section.
It'll sell out the
Yeah.
whole section. Yeah. Well, you got anything else you'd like to say?
I do. I got to say this, okay? It's summer, all right? So I got to talk to you guys about summer driving, okay? Because people who drive in the summer, they're a special kind of people, let me tell you. All the out-of-towners and everything.
Yeah.
So Sully has 4 things to say, 4 things when you're driving. First off, know where the hell you are, okay? You got a GPS. Where am I? Look at your damn GPS. You're in Revere, okay? You know where you are, okay? 2, know where you're going, okay? You're heading to Salem. You're in Revere. Go north. What the heck? No, go north. You'll get to Salem eventually. I don't understand the problem with this, okay? People have no sense of direction, okay?
3?
Number three. Do it in the most efficient way possible, people. Okay, I don't want to hear the Revere Beach Parkway was traffic. No. You don't need the Parkway if you know where the hell you're going in Revere. You never need to use it. The most efficient way, go to the blind kid selling pencils at the corner and then take a right. Okay, that's the best way to go, people. All right, come on. And number 4, please, do it at a brisk pace, people, okay? I don't want to get behind you when you're giving a tour and pointing around like, with the thing on Ethel used to hang out in the 1950s that burned down, okay? We're in Revere. We don't point, we drive, okay? I got places to be. I got things to do. I don't want to get stuck behind your tour, okay? So those are the 4 points in Revere. Oh, and plus, if you're going to have your windows down, please get some good music. None of this redneck woman crap, okay? You're in Revere. You're a lot of things, but you ain't a redneck woman, okay? If you want to sing, you're a big-head woman with a Marblite in one hand and a Natty Light in the other, okay, I'm on board with that. But none of this crap. Get the Def Leppard, the AC/DC, the Foreigner. It's summer, baby. None of this redneck woman crap, okay? All right, that's my rant for today. That's how you drive in Revere.
Sully, it's such a pleasure to have you come
Always-
on our show.
always happy to be
Thank you
here.
enough, and I hope by the next show, you're still a free man.
Oh, I'll be a free man. I got motivation. Thanks, baby. All right, see you out there in
Take care,
TV land.
folks.
Bye, everybody.
Okay, it's time for the Stump Jason Answers.
Okay,
And
here
I
we
hope
go.
some of you folks have been able to pick up some of these.
Okay, all right.
Okay,
So,
who you got?
all right, so, and Marty Barrett also shares your birthday. We've been told by the truck, Marty Barrett shares your
That's
birthday.
true.
Not
That's
the year, but the but the
No,
day.
Not the decade.
Not the decade.
Just barely the century. Actually.
Right. anyway, back to business.
Which was 4 days ago, so it's okay. I'll accept congratulations.
Right, yes, right. That's right, 4 days ago. So back to so my question is 5 rookies of the year.
They've had only 5, other than Dropo.
After
5
Dropo.
After Dropo.
Okay.
They had none before.
All right, so I'm going to go backwards.
Okay.
So
right.
the most recent is Pedroia.
Right.
Yep. Petey got it, and then
He's 2007.
yep, and then Nomar got it in 97.
Yep.
Okay, and then Fred Lynn in
75.
75, and I believe it was Fisk before that. Was it 71 or 72? 72. Okay, and then yes, I know the last one. He was a one-year wonder. Don Schwal, 1960, 61, 62, somewhere like that. Early 60s. All right.
Got it.
Oh, left
for you.
over.
Good
I got
for
it.
you.
Don, he was kind of a one-year wonder, wasn't he?
And he didn't. I think he was 15 and 7.
Yeah, he was. It was sort of a
It was-
nondescript year.
It was a year that I don't know
and
why.
and obviously was, but from what I gathered, he was a guy. He walked too many guys to really be sustainable for very long. But he was just sort of at a one-year.
good year. That was it.
In '61, I was in college, and I went to some games, but I had other things on my mind. So I really don't really remember.
I will not ask what those things were. I can guess, but yeah, that's so they've had 6 rookies of the year since What was the first year they gave rookie of the year? Actually,
I think it was I think Jackie Robinson.
I think it was too. It was in the mid 40s, right?
47.
Yeah, right.
They didn't do that. They've gone back and theorized who could be it.
Right.
But they didn't do it.
And
there was a couple times they did it for both leagues.
Right,
Just
exactly.
like the Cy Young.
Right. They combined them and they just picked
picked
one.
one.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Dropo was one of the first. I knew that, but it wasn't. Yeah, you're right. It might have been Jackie Robinson was the first
I'm
one.
pretty sure that was 47.
Right.
So, next thing, if any of you have been noticing, the Red Sox have had, for the last 3 years, home run celebrations in the dugout.
I love these.
Home run celebration. They used to, a guy would run around the bases, go in, and he sort of shake hands. Then they started going down the dugout, and everybody said, nice job, nice job.
Yeah.
But now they turned it into some kind of a famous routine.
Huge celebration of the home
So
run.
see if you remember these. In 2002,
2022.
I'm trying to be younger. 2002, 22, they had a shopping cart.
I remember this.
And they tried to shove some of these big guys in the shopping cart and parade them down.
I'm trying to tell who that is in the card. I can't even tell who that is.
It's not Ortiz.
No, it's not. No. And then the next year.
Wait. You're going too fast.
The 23.
The 23, they had plastic
dumbbells.
that weighs maybe 6.5 grams.
Right. There's Rafi with his dumbbell. And then they started this year.
This year, they put medals around.
They put the marathon medal there it is. They put the marathon medal. It fits the colors actually. I think it looks pretty sharp with the yellow. It looks
medal.
Great. But it's not just the Red Sox that are doing this. Other teams are doing this, and they get so creative with some of these. I absolutely love some of these. They're so fun.
I wrote a few of them down. They cracked me up. Detroit is owned by Caesar's Pizza.
Yeah, right.
So they have a fork.
Yeah, there it is. They have a
stick.
pizza.
They have 3 pizzas that they carry down. And it's too bad they're not real because they can feed everything.
Oh, absolutely. Pizzas are on me.
The many loaves.
Yeah, that's right. That'd be great. We're hungry. Somebody want to hit one out? All right, here we go. That's right.
They do. It's getting silly carrying pizzas around.
That's so part of the fun.
And then another good one is the Reds have a Viking.
Oh, I love this one. And they have the cape, too. They have the hat and the cape they put on it. That looks awesome. I love that.
That looks more like
I love it. I know.
That's Spencer Steer. We had a home run against us.
He sure did. Yes, Spencer. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, a couple of the other ones that I thought were pretty cool is if you've seen the Angels, they have like a samurai hat that they put on them. I think it comes from the Ohtani days. They still have the hat. And then another one, they have the Mariners have a big trident that they pass around.
That they get from Ruprecht.
Right, Ruprecht.
Movie reference.
Yes.
The A's wear a catcher's mask.
Yes, I saw that. Yes. And the Brewers have a cheesehead thing, right?
Copied, though.
Yeah, that's from the Packers. Yeah.
So. But check them out when you see them play. Yeah. Now they have something. I wonder what the Sox do next year.
I don't know.
And who decides?
Who knows?
I think Sully should pass him.
Oh, yeah, we'll get Sully to. So they can pass around a Dunks Cup with Sully or something. I don't know. But one of my favorite things, too, it wasn't really a home run thing, but this year the Twins had an 8-game win streak. I don't know if you saw this. They had a summer sausage that they carried around during the 8-game win streak.
Really?
And supposedly it was in a shoe and it was rotting. And they had to go to Toronto and they weren't sure they were going to get it through customs. So they managed to get the sausage through customs to keep their winning streak going. And Rocco Baldelli said the smell was just unreal. He was kind of hoping they'd lose after a while. Imagine carrying around a summer sausage in the heat for 8 days to keep your win streak going.
I know baseball fans are superstitious. One of the other days, the announcers are all talking about their own superstitions, things they had to do or couldn't do.
Right.
That's too much.
It is too much.
That's getting to be voodoo.
Yeah, that's
not superstition.
Right. And actually, we're almost we're heading towards the finish line here, folks.
Yep. We were going to talk about Harry Frazee.
We'll save that for
next
time.
show because I got some fact about the famous selling of Babe Ruth.
Yes.
It'll knock your socks
You know
off.
what? So for the next month, if you want to join us, look up Harry for Z, and if you want to contribute and follow along about Harry for Z, that'll be our next in-depth report, so to say. I think.
And as we are signing off at this moment, the Sox actually are in a playoff position.
They are. They have the third wild card, so we'll see if
when
they
this
hang in there.
airs, they may have fallen on evil ways. But at least at this point,
they're a playoff team, folks.
as I said, hope springs eternal.
I said, hey, you know what? Hey, we were the two of the ones that believed in them all along. So let's hope they keep it going.
So once again, congratulations to the Celtics.
Yes.
And a super thanks to Dan, John, and the truck. And we couldn't do it without us.
Absolutely.
And we're christening our new studio.
This new studio, yes.
Which is in the same building, but it's drier.
It only took us 100 shows to get a new studio.
So anyway, so long, folks.
All right.
Have a good summer.
Everyone take
And,
care. We'll see you in
see
July.
See you in on. So long.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back. Let me root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. But it's 1, 2, 3 cycle out and the all orange. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back. Let me root for the whole team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 cycle out and the all